Okay, well, here is the hole that we're going to repair today. This is a hole in the gel coat. It was for an old screw hole that we was holding something down. So as you can see, it's there's a little bit of staining from rust and whatnot around it. So we're going to try to fix it, and I'm going to take you step by step through the process, and we will hope for the best outcome. Okay, now here is the hole as it stands right now. We're going to grind it down a little bit. We're going to use a drill bit, a drill with a countersink bit, just to grind it down just a little bit. I can't get into it that way, so I got to back off a little bit. And here we go. All right. So we're just going to grind it down just a little. Don't want to get too carried away with this. So there you go. It's we ground the edges down a little bit. Try to get it flush with the surrounding surface, and chamfer the edges just a little bit. So might do a little bit more grinding on this, and then we're going to clean it up and mask it off. Now we're going to clean up this with a little bit of acetone. We've got a can of acetone, and we've got a rag. And I've got some gloves on to protect my hands from the chemical. But basically, what we're going to do here is we've soaked a little bit of acetone onto the rag, and we're going to clean up the surface as best we can, trying to get rid of any residual silicone or any kind of adhesive that might be inside the screw hole that would prevent the gel coat from adhering properly to this particular repair. So we've cleaned it up as well as we can right now, and I'm gonna maybe clean up a little bit more, and then we're gonna come back here and tape off the hole and get it ready for applying the gel coat. Alright, here we are again. This time we've taped off the area immediately surrounding the repair area. You'll notice we got a little bit carried away with the masking tape, but the idea here is to protect any of the surrounding material, such as the stainless steel, the underlying gel coat, or the starboard structure to the left there, from any damage that or any gel coat for that matter that might occur while we're doing the repair. Alright, now we're going to mix up the gel coat and get it ready to apply to the repair area. Here we have the main ingredients of our gel coat repair. We have a mixing cup right here. We have the resin. In this case, I'm using a paste or gel resin. We have some whitening agent, and this is the whitening agent here. It's just kind of a white, creamy paste that you add to the gel coat. And finally, we have the hardener, or the catalyst, that you add to the gel coat once you've mixed up the color with the gel coat the way you want it. All right, let's get started. All right. Well, the first step is to take out a bit of the gel coat. I'm using just a little popsicle stick here, and I'm going to add it to the cup, the mixing cup. Now, I'm going to probably mix up more than I'm going to need for this particular application, but it's better to have more than you need than to not have enough. Now, the next step is to add the whitening agent. You don't really need to add a lot of the whitening agent. About 20% of the volume of the gel coat is what you're looking for. And in this particular case, the whitening agent's a little runny, so we didn't mix it up. So there we go. We got a little bit of whitening agent in there. Now we're going to mix that up. Now that we've mixed up our color, We've added the white pigment, and I also added just a hint of some black to kind of, because the gel coat in this repair is a little bit on the gray white side, so but not much. So the next step is to add actually add the hardener, which we have right here, or the catalyst. We're going to add about 8 drops per teaspoon of gel coat. So this we've got about a teaspoon here, maybe a little bit more. So we're going to go a little bit heavy on the hardener. Probably add about 10 drops, and it goes kind of like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drops. That's 10 drops right there. And now the hardener is going to work with the gel coat, and it will create a chemical reaction that'll start to make it gel, and then eventually get hard. But before that happens, we're going to go out and we're going to apply this to the repair area. All right. So here we are with the gel coat and on the boat, and we're going to make the repairs to the area. So I've mixed up the catalyst and the gel coat thoroughly. You've got to do that. Make sure you mix it up thoroughly. And here we go with our repair. So you're just going to kind of drop it into this particular hole. The trick here is to make sure it gets deep inside and doesn't just sit on the surface and create an air pocket. So we're kind of shoving it down there a little bit, making sure that it gets down inside the repair area. So we're gonna put just a little bit more on here. We mixed up way more gel coat than we needed, but that's kind of part of the process. So, by the way, if we have any other repairs, we can do those now, although the gel coat's going to harden up here pretty quickly, and we don't have a whole lot of working time. Maybe about, you can see it's starting to gel already, maybe about 10 minutes maximum working time on this. So try not to get too much gel coat anywhere other than in the actual repair area, though you want to make sure that gets in there really good. So there we go. For right now, I'm going to let it sit. We're going to let it harden. Also, we don't want to get too much on there because then we'll have more sanding to do, so we smooth that out a little bit. So there we go. There's our gel coat repair at this stage. And we're going to let it harden, and we'll come back and we're going to start a sanding process. All right, here we are now with our gel coat setup. Some people like to spray polyvinyl alcohol on here to let it dry. I prefer to just let it dry on its own. It may be a little tacky on the outside, but we're going to sand that down anyway. So what we've got here is 3 grades of sandpaper. I got a fairly aggressive grade. This is a 320 grit. I've got a 600 grit, and I've got an 800 grit. And I've got a little bit of water here because this is wet, dry sandpaper. So I'm going to be wetting the sandpaper as I start sanding. So I'm going to start with my fairly aggressive sandpaper first, and then we're going to work our way down to the finer sandpaper as we finish up the job. We've taken the repair down about as far as we can. As you can see, we're starting to sand through some of the masking tape, and that's not good. You don't want to be sanding areas that don't need to be sanded down. So at this point, we're going to remove the masking tape, and we'll see that the repair is still a little high, but it's down to the level of the masking tape at this point. So that's a sign that we need to be taking the tape off. Here we are with the tape peeled away. You can see the immediate repair area. I worked it down at this stage with 320 grit wet dry sandpaper. At this point now I'm going to start going to work on it with the 600 grit. You'll notice I left a little bit of tape on the sides of objects immediately surrounding this repair. That's just so I don't inadvertently sand other areas that I don't want to sand. So I'm going to get to work now with the 600 grit. This process has taken about 5 minutes. Previous to this, probably take another 5 to 10 minutes to finish it up. I'm working away on the repair with the 600 grit at this point. You'll see that I'm keeping the sandpaper fairly wet and confining my sanding just to the immediate area of the repair. Believe it or not, keeping the sandpaper wet actually improves the abrasive qualities of the paper. So we're almost ready to go to our 800 grit. We've got it down pretty close to the surface of the existing gel coat. I have a little bit of a match issue here. The gel coat doesn't match exactly, but that's pretty normal with these kind of gel coat repairs. Shouldn't be a major issue. And I've got a little trick I'll show you a little bit later on to help resolve any color match issues. Alright, well here we are. We're almost finished up here with this. We've used just a little bit of sanding with the 800 grit, but we got it down to the level and it's nice and smooth, same level as the surrounding gel coat. So you can see we have just a little bit of a color match issue. This is because the gel coat sometimes turns a slightly different color when you add the catalyst or the hardener. But as I promised you, I'm going to show you a little trick that will be able to fix that with in just as soon as we get this all cleaned up. Here we've got our repair pretty much cleaned up. You can see this is the repair area right here. Once again, have a little bit of a color match issue, but the solution I have in this particular case is I found a paint that very, very closely matches the gel coat on my boat. In this particular case, it's Rust-Oleum Appliance Epoxy. Comes in a little bottle, looks almost like a whiteout, but it is almost an exact match for the gel coat on my boat. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to apply it, and then I'm going to show you how well the repair matches after that. All right. Well, we are all done. Our repair is pretty nice, not bad. We have a nice color match. Thanks to that little vial of Rust-Oleum paint that I have for appliances. It's a perfect match for the boat. So that's how you do a gel coat repair, and this one turned out to my liking. For Boating Magazine, I'm Jim Hendricks.